And this was the big special, a Very Brady Christmas, which kind of got their rebirth going. That was a big special. Then it led to other specials, Very Brady Krishnas. Remember that? That was... And my favorite special, a Brady Briss. I really enjoyed that one. We're happy to welcome back a fellow who's been here several times before. He's president of some sort of company called Information USA. And he tells you how you can get lots of...
Mom. She will star in the new series, The Bradys. It premieres on CBS tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
Hi.
Hi, Pat.
Well,
I am so happy to see you, and I want to congratulate you. Look at this, the little wedding band. You know, People Magazine, that was great.
Wasn't that nice?
Oh, and the letters to the editor, the follow-up, everybody was, they loved you.
Well, I'm a lovable guy.
That looked like a very expensive wedding.
Well, expense is no object when you're...
Did you pay for it?
we sort of, everybody did. We all pitched in.
The bride's family and you did?
Oh. The bride's family, it's tough. They have 3 girls, so they're stuck. It's a great tradition, I think.
I know, my youngest daughter just got married.
Oh,
yeah,
so you went through the same
cost
deal.
a pretty penny.
Yeah, indeed.
But I'm glad you're wearing the ring. I think every married man should wear one and keep it on.
Really? Yeah. Well, I think it's a good idea. I mean, the woman does.
Absolutely. So why shouldn't you?
I think it's only fair. So what trouble are you going to get us in tonight? You always
everything that I can.
You know, one thing we touched on last time you were here, a time before last year, we were talking about hypnosis because you went through a period of stage fright.
Stage fright and terrible fear of flying.
It just popped up in your life?
Well, it was kind of a very insidious thing. It happened kind of gradually. And I'd had a few bad experiences on airplanes, and I just attached other fears to flying and to my work.
So hypnosis helped?
Oh, hypnosis helped me so quickly in like 5 or 6 sessions.
Yeah. But you started to say something last time about being able to look at someone and tell how they would respond to hypnosis?
Remember, like 2 shows ago, I told you about your sexual personality, okay? Which is how you act out information that you've learned. And so I would have to know, to hypnotize you, I'd have to know your suggestibility, which is how you learn information.
Yeah.
Now, I would say just from, you know, the stuff at the top of my head that you are, as I told you, you're an emotional sexual, but you have physical suggestibility.
Meaning?
Meaning that you, that's why you're creative, that's why you're able to come out and be on a talk show and talk. It means that you talk about things better than you do them, like you probably talk a good game with sex better than you.
Who called for a Zoom on that?
but it's on your face, Pat, so don't worry.
Thank you very much.
The Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah. So how would this apply? How would you apply this when hypnosis comes about?
Well, because that would tell me that, for instance, how my stage fright came about. I am highly suggestible. I'm also a physical suggestible. So I am suggestible to almost everything in the environment. Let's say that there were 10 of us standing on the corner, and a bus went by and almost hit us.
Okay.
We all jumped back. Now, 8 of the 10 might say, oh, well, the bus came kind of close. 2 of us would go, oh, my gosh, the bus almost killed me. And then we would become very frightened of buses, you know. And
so how do you get over that?
Well, what I would do is I would hypnotize you, and then I would take you through that in hypnosis. I would
throw me in front of a Greyhound or something?
Yes, definitely. I'd throw you in front of a bus, yes, and let it roll over you, and then back out. No, you're so sweet. No one would ever look at that face.
Yeah, I know. No more Zooms, please. Now, well.
So, yeah, and that's what I would do. I would take you through that, and I would have you bring up those feelings. First, we'd have to find out if you had a fear or a phobia. And then I would bring up those feelings and have you, because if you created it, then you can uncreate it. Okay. You know, and then you can get rid of it.
I don't think I have any phobias. I really don't. I mean, I don't think I have a strong fear of things. I mean,
Dan Miller's not a phobia with you, or a fear?
Not counting Dan, I haven't. No, I really don't. And a phobia would mean I would be almost paralyzed to inaction, right?
Right. Yeah, you just couldn't. Well, that's the way I was with flying. And then if you add like a couple of incidents, I mean, I was on a flight once with my 4 children. That within the one flight, we had a hijacking threat and made a forced landing in Denver and had to get off the flight and take everything. They had to get off the plane and take everything, and they went through all of our our hand luggage and took my needlepoint scissors, and I said, I wouldn't be the hijacker with these little tiny scissors.
You look a little shady, frankly.
Well, yes, I do. But then we got back on the plane, and they took us to New York, and then we got a bomb threat. This was all in one flight, and we had to make an emergency landing. Pilots tell me this is written up in all of their journals. We had to make an emergency landing. We reversed engines at 18,000 feet.
This is all on one...
All on one flight.
How nice.
And I had to take my kids off. They didn't even put down the emergency chute. They threw up a ladder, and we had to, hand them to the
I now have a
firemen.
phobia. Thank you very much.
Now you're afraid of flying, aren't you?
Tomorrow night is the Brady's, the
Yes.
premiere. That's exciting. You've had 4 decades. The show has been...
Yes, we started in 1969, and here we are in 1990. I can't believe it.
This show is on in syndication all over the world. Have you seen the foreign versions at all?
I've seen a couple. It's pretty hilarious. It's like the German version. We sound so silly. Ann B. Davis sounds like a Nazi stormtrooper. Yeah, all of that kind of thing. It's very flattering.
We found out one that you haven't seen, that you were anxious to see, was the Japanese.
Yes, I've not seen that.
And we've gotten hold of it.
You do?
Yeah. So this would be, and as a scene, I don't know if you remember this episode, you're dressed as a cowgirl, talking to your husband. I don't quite know the context.
Who was dressed as a cowboy. He's kind of funny that way.
It's Japanese, so it doesn't matter what the context is. But here's a little Brady bunch in Japanese. Watch.
ブーツだけで他に何にも着ないとね、逮捕されるぞ。
体にペンキでも塗るよ。
今度こそ何も手違いが起こりませんように。
大丈夫さ。8日には必ず出発。
ホテルも取れたし。ママ、パパ、ちょっといい？いいわよ。
You speak very well. Konnichiwa.
That is hysterical.
You speak very well. We're going to be talking more about the show later on because in a minute Ann B. Davis is coming on out, and you're going to be joining us a little bit later in the show, and we'll just
You're going to have Martha Quinn.
Martha Quinn. It's exciting stuff.
Oh yeah, it's going to be wonderful tomorrow night from 8 to 10.
All right.
On CBS.
All right. Thanks, Florence.
Well, Pat, I'll see you later now.
I'm suggesting it.
Yes.
We'll take a break and we'll be back. Stay with us.
Davis, who will reprise her role as the lovable Alice on The Brady's. Welcome her.
Well, yes.
I have this strange feeling I've moved into another planet.
Yeah, we'd like to make everyone feel that way, if at all possible.
Panic is setting in.
Are you excited about this?
Well, I am, but after your last 2 guests, I'm not sure. I'm going to be very boring. I don't want to scare you with that.
No, you won't be at all, I'm sure. Everybody knows you now. We talked with Florence about how this thing is played all over the Brady Bunch is played all over the world. Do you get a sense of that? Do you travel much? Do people?
I travel a great deal.
Yeah.
I mean, to be recognized on the street in Nairobi
Is that true?
can really clear your sinuses. Yes,
Yeah.
it is, yeah. Oh, it's true, absolutely. There, Sydney, Australia, every place I go.
Now, what's your role? Your character's going to be a little bit different in this play because you're a friend of the family rather than...
I'm a close friend of the family.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm there. I don't wear the uniform anymore. I've had clothes to wear. I don't believe it's wonderful. I spent so many years in the uniform.
That's right. You were always in uniform.
Always in uniform, which makes it very easy to get ready in the morning. You just get ready.
That's it. Sure.
Yeah, I'm a friend of the family. I'm in on all the excitement.
Do you know the actor who portrayed Sam?
Oh, Alan?
Alan Melvin. He's terrific, I think, and he's one of those fellas that you probably look at him and say, who's that?
Oh, I've seen him.
But he's done thousands of shows. Is he part of this? Is he back as your love interest or your?
Well, we talk about. See, I'm married to Sam.
Yeah.
I mean, love interest. Yes, I'm married to Sam. I have been since 1981 when we did the Brady
But you will
Bunch.
be in this as well.
We talk about him. I hope he'll be in the show.
Yeah.
I understand his agent called the other day just checking it out to see if he was going to be in the show. We'll see.
Yeah.
I know we talk about him a lot.
Have you figured out, you do much analyzing about why this show has hung around for so long?
Yeah, mostly because I get asked so many times. Partly because when we shot it, right back in 69, 74, every other show on the air was all about slice of life, and life was miserable and rotten and horrible and awful. And, here we came on with nice kids, nice people that all did the nice things, and never had a problem we couldn't solve in 23 and a half minutes. And that was, that was nice. And then when we went into syndication and, all the rerun stuff, We were the only decent show to show at 3:30, you know, after school hours. And then suddenly there were 60 channels available and not enough software.
Yeah.
So we fell into that.
It almost
kind of
became
a thing.
bigger in syndication than it was when it was on the network. I
Well,
mean,
it's been
became
15 years more.
Yeah,
of it.
well, that's true. Another show, and I don't know how many people remember you from this because we're going back a little ways on this, but...
we were very young at the time. If you're referring to the Bob Cummings show.
The Bob Cummings show, yeah, sure. Ah.
That was from 55 to 60,
Yeah.
and went into reruns for a while.
That was kind of a, I want to say, racy show for its day.
Oh,
but,
for its day, my
you know,
dear.
Bob was always chasing
Cummings,
after young
he chased
gals.
those girls, and you know what?
What?
If you got them in a corner, he kissed them.
Ooh.
Gasp, horrors.
Well, in the 50s, that was major
It
stuff
was
to be
racy
kissing
for
on
its
TV.
day. Yeah, for its day, it was pretty racy.
Now, even an interesting commute because you're not living out here.
Now, I've been living in Denver for the last 14 years now.
Yeah.
I've been living in a Christian community there, an extended family of Christian people. And
so
at
you
times,
like that life, and you're
It's wonderful.
going to stay there despite
well,
the
yeah, we're actually,
workload?
some of us are moving to Pennsylvania to start a new community because Bishop Fry is becoming the dean of the seminary in Ambridge, Pennsylvania. That's another story.
So you get on a bus every day and drive in? Or how does that work?
But the, well,
I mean, when you have to film, you just come out here and stay out here?
I mean, Stapleton, Denver's 2 hours from Burbank. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't
It's not
miss
that hard to do.
So you don't miss old Hollywood and the glamour and the excitement and the drama,
I did that
adventure. You did?
I did that already.
Yeah.
I mean, I was here when I was young and supple and ready to take on the world, and I did all of that stuff, and I did very nicely, thank you, and probably got as high as I had any right to get, and now I can relax and enjoy it.
Well, good. I'm glad you are. And again, it's tomorrow night. The Brady's get back on the air, and
It's kind of fun because living with this extended family, I've lived with nuclear families, and they've had a lot. There've been 9 kids involved that I've seen grow up and mature and get married and have babies. And it's the same thing with the Brady Bunch. You know, you go back and this is like an extended family, and you want to see how they turned out.
Yeah.
Who did they marry?
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow, and we'll see you a little bit later on in this show. Ann B. Davis. Thanks, Ann, very much for being here. Take a break. Rama, 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 Rama. We'll sing. Hi, Martha. You know, it just occurred to me as we're getting ready to go here. You on MTV. You worked alone in the studio. And
I know. Who are those people?
they're our studio. They're friendly folks. They're nice folks. No. They love you. They adore you. They want to be a part.
Somebody did yell out from over there, "Hey, Martha!" So I feel a little bit more accepted.
Yeah, you do the show. You do the MTV stuff in New York, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And people never come up to me with that, hushed, revered tone and say, "Excuse me, Miss Quinn." People are always coming up to me saying, "Hey, Martha, listen. I really did not like that haircut you got. You should change it back. No respect."
Well, that's good. That means they care about you, I guess, is what that means. Well, you were one of the original DJs, weren't you?
Yes.
One of the original 5 or 6 or whatever it was?
One of the original 5 MTV VJs. Can you name them?
Oh, sure. You?
Yeah.
Okay, let me try. Mark Goodman?
Yes?
Sally Jesse Raphael? I don't know.
Can anybody out there? Mark Goodman, me.
Sneezy? Who?
J.J. Jackson,
Sneezy, Dopey, and Grumpy.
Alan Hunter, and Nina Blackwood.
Oh, okay. I should have remembered Nina and Alan as well. Anyway, did you leave for a while and go back?
Yes.
Now you're hosting a show.
Now I'm back with a show called Martha's Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
And it's real fun. It's really good. Did you really listen to K-Rock and say, "I want Drama Rama on"?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Does that make me cool?
I wouldn't expect that.
Well, it's hidden. It's hidden underneath the sweater, all of it. Yeah.
Really? What was the last tape that you ever bought?
The last tape. The last tape was the new Morrissey.
Oh, the guy from the Smiths?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, that's very interesting.
You find that interesting?
Well, because the last tape that I bought was, I bought the Jets, I bought Dwight Yoakam, and then I bought Woody Guthrie just to impress the guy behind the counter.
You ever do that? I do that when I go to the grocery store. I don't want the check. I got to know what I'm doing exactly. So if I buy like sauce and pasta and mushrooms, I also buy like a deodorant to throw them off the track. Does that make me a sick human being?
I think we caved into peer pressure.
I think that's probably
bad.
what it is. Now, were you a Brady? Now, we should explain your connection here to the Bradys. You are going to be a Mrs. Brady?
I am Mrs. Bobby Brady, the little baby boy gets married, and I've got him, girls.
Yeah. Now, were you a Brady fan?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know all these guys?
I grew up in America, which is basically all it takes. Everybody watched the Bradys, and everybody has their favorite episode. Maybe when Greg took over the den and put the black light posters up. I hear it. They're recognizing it.
I
When
must
the
have missed
vase
that one.
got broken,
Oh,
or
was that the vase got broken?
and Jan got braces. You know, and I find no matter who I speak with, you know, cab drivers in New York or anybody out here, everybody's got a favorite Brady thing or a favorite Brady, and it's like the great equalizer. It's the Brady bunch.
Now, the guy you're marrying, were you a fan of his when you were watching?
Yeah. I think you tended to. I looked up to, like, Jan, because she was a little older, and I thought, and I have 4 brothers, so I thought, wouldn't it be neat if I had older sisters? But Bobby and I were always about the same age, and I used to always think, wow,
And now
Bobby Brady.
you're marrying Bobby Brady.
I know,
oh,
I know.
gosh.
It's
Now-
very exciting.
Now, they're also...
And I saw the wedding pictures in Rolling Stone, and I said to my father, Dad, you may as well just go ahead and frame that one. That may be the only wedding picture I get.
No, you think so?
I hope not. I'm
Really?
so jealous.
Are
He
you out
just
there
got
looking?
married. Well, yes, I
Are you really? Well, I can't, but you date, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be a good way to meet a husband, I think. I'm not waiting for my parents to arrange it.
Yeah, no one's going to pull up in a van. You actually should get out and meet people. But
Yeah.
you do some of that. Yeah, you.
I'm shy.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, maybe you'll meet some nice shy guy.
I hope.
No. Now, one of the differences, I think, of the show is that they're trying to do, I don't know, I don't want to say issues, but maybe be a little more serious. I know there's a more dramatic side to this
Right.
new Brady.
What I think is happening with the Bradys is what they've done is maintain that very strong sense of family values and brought it into the 90s and incorporating, rather than, you know, Cindy has lost her doll, you know, and that's the big crisis of the show. It might be dealing with disability or something like that. But bringing with it the family issues. I mean, a lot of us didn't grow up in a family that, for as long as Florence and Robert have stayed together, that actually stayed together. So it's good to have out there.
Yeah, that's true. Now, in fact, your husband-to-be
Right.
is in the show is injured, right? Is that
Yes.
the story?
Yes. Bobby and I met in college, and he decided to drop out of school and go
You've really
be a...
bought into this, haven't you?
I am. I'm like, but you know what? People say, oh, isn't it weird to go be on the set, and you're an outsider. You don't know these people who've worked together for 20 years. But in fact, I feel like I grew up with them. So when I went on to the set, I felt like such an idiot because I felt like Stu Olson. I'm going, hi, Cindy. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
So Bobby had an accident, is
Yes.
the thing.
Bobby got into a car crash,
Yeah.
and I saw his near fatal accident on TV and rushed to his side.
All right, now we're going to see a scene. Is this where he proposes to you? Is that the story?
Somebody does the proposing. I'm not
Oh.
sure. Can I just say one thing while we watch this?
Yeah.
You know, I was debating what to wear today.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know, well, I'm Martha Quinn. I'm on TV. Everybody knows that. But I'm on the Brady's. Like, so should I wear, like, a Brady outfit? But should I wear what? So here you'll see the Brady side.
Well, you made a nice choice here, and now we'll see your Brady side. Take a look from the Brady's, Martha Quinn.
Bobby, I died when you were in that accident. And I wasn't alive again until I saw you.
You know something? You were the last thing I thought about just before it happened. And I love you, Tracy.
I love you, too. What are we going to do about it?
Well, don't ask me to get down on one knee.
You're asking me what I think you're asking me. The answer is yes, Bobby Brady.
Pretty sweet. Is that your first on-screen kiss?
No.
No?
My first on-screen kiss was on an episode of Fame. And does anybody remember the band Fear? The guys in Drama Run probably will.
Yeah.
Leaving was the wild lead singer, and he was my first on-screen kiss.
Yeah, I bet. But that was a nice little
He's
kiss there.
actually quite a good kisser. He was married to a lovely girl, Kelly, and she's pregnant with their first baby.
Oh, good. And how was Bobby Brady's kissing?
Oh, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was back with Fear.
I was searching back in my memory banks the last time I was kissed to leave. No, I'm kidding.
No, it was a nice. It was a sort of a Brady kiss. It looked like no tongues, which was sort of nice. It was sort of gentle. I don't know.
Did you say that? They'll edit that out.
Oh,
right?
they will.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
They'll edit that right out.
I don't think you can say
I'll
tongues
never
until
make
at least 2 a.m. Well, anyway, stick around because the rest of the gang is going to come out and join us, and we'll talk about some other stuff. Martha Quinn. Thanks, Martha.
You're right. They were nice.
Yeah, they were. We'll take a break and be right back. So are you. are. Thanks, Dave. Dave Koz. And we have the entire...
The only instrument I ever really wanted to play.
We were just... He's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Yay! Sorry, Pat.
That's all right. Just take over if you'd like. That's okay. You wanted to play that instrument?
Oh, that was the only musical instrument that I really wanted to play.
You get a grant from the government for clarinet. They do. They have saxophone, clarinets, and violin.
Do they include the talents?
No. Only $10,000.
Did you try? Did you try?
No, I never got a chance. Because by the time, this was in grade school, and by the time I said, yes, I'd like to learn how to play an instrument, the clarinet was gone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What do you mean it was gone?
Somebody else wanted to play clarinet?
Oh, I see.
The government took it back.
I thought maybe you only had one in the house.
Martha was asking about my musical taste and expressed some surprise at some of the people. I don't know about any. Well, like when you're just listening, you have a beautiful voice, Florence, and you sing beautifully. But when you just want to flip on the radio and listen to something, what kind of stuff?
I love all kinds of music. I love rock music. I'm not a real heavy metal fan, but I love rock music. I love Bruce Springsteen. I love Dramarama. I love classical music, all kinds. I love Tom Scott and his band.
Yeah. Actually, it always bothers me when I hear someone say, I don't like, and they pick a category of music, because I think there's something good in almost any category.
I agree, and it is the great communicator. Music is a language that everyone understands.
Yeah.
I used to listen to nothing but show tunes, and that was my big thing. I knew every lyric of every obscure verse. And
Honey, everything's
No. Fanny. Do Fanny.
I just hurt myself very badly. No.
That sounded painful to all of us.
Now I listen to nothing but gospel stations. So what do you do?
What about you, Mark? What do you? Your big ones are groups that are you allowed to show favoritism because you know you're on MTV? And
I would say right now I've got Neil Young's After the Gold Rush. I just bought the Judd's Greatest Hits. And
how about Randy Travis?
I love Randy Travis. I love Randy Travis.
Mrs. Brady is hipper than people know, don't you? Did you find that out?
I don't know what
She said she doesn't like real heavy metal, but I have a feeling that we're looking at a Def Leppard, maybe Van Halen thing.
I have been known to get down a time or two. Well,
we're all pleased to hear that.
Now listen, now Mrs. Brady, I just want you to know some of the changes.
Yeah, what?
That I'm not spending as much time in the kitchen.
Really?
Yeah. Spending more time in the bedroom, right, Martha?
Is that true?
Well, our house has no bedroom.
Your house on the show?
But you'll get one. You haven't been a Brady long enough.
Well, we never did have a bathroom.
I don't think it's legal to have sex with one of those Brady kids. I think the police just come right into the house and say, break it up.
But some of the changes are that Mr. Brady and I are spending much more time in the bedroom, and I'm wearing wonderful, sexy nightgowns with a lot of cleavage.
Did they have rules about what you could wear?
You don't know what cleavage is, do you, Pat? No.
Yes, that's
I have some.
Yeah.
I do, actually. I sometimes need a trainer bra myself. I used to be heavier, and that's what really happened.
You know what you need is a muzzle.
She's kidding, man.
I don't know. It sounds like this is Brady can't be serious.
But speaking of cleavage, were you allowed to show any of that when you first went on the air?
No.
No.
I mean,
were there rules?
Oh, yes, there were rules. You couldn't show cleavage. I mean, even on Ed Sullivan, if you wore a dress that was just cut fairly low, they would make you put netting in up to here. Mrs. Brady showed cleavage, but now she's showing cleavage.
But, I watched The Very Brady Christmas, and there was definitely more of that,
Remember that?
Yeah. I kind of didn't like it. Because I sort of relate to...
Well, no, look at her. She's wearing a T-shirt with the collar up to here.
It's a bit like my parents. You don't like to think for some reason of your parents.
Having sex? How do you think you got here?
I just can't imagine old Nina.
Boy.
I'm going to have some talk with Martha.
Chat with your in-law there and get that done. I don't know the answer to this question, so I'm taking a risk. Matt, tell the truth. It doesn't, they can all take it well. Do you know anything about the Brady Bunch?
Well, I know of the Brady Bunch. Actually, I was talking to Ann in the room earlier, and what I remember almost every episode is the Bob Cummings show. I don't know. I think I was overseas during the '70s, And when the Brady Bunch...
I think he was underwater.
but it's fascinating to hear all this. I didn't realize it was such a cult. You know, the Brady Brothers.
They just keep growing up and adding
and
on
I've
to
seen
it.
clips, and I've certainly seen you all my life somewhere.
I tell you what, we have to take a break here, and then we'll unravel your legs, and we'll be right back. Stay there. Well, it's time to say our goodnights, and it is. I'm sorry.
We just got here.
It seems like it just got here, but time flies. 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night
CBS.
on Channel 2, CBS.
It's
Here
the
it
old
is.
Brady spot, isn't it?
Yes,
It is.
that's
Oh, it actually
a
is.
good omen.
Thanks, Ann. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Florence.
8
And
o'clock tomorrow
Matt,
night.
you'll be watching?
I'll watch it, I swear.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Say hi to Leslie.
I will. Thanks a lot. Also, thanks to Dan Miller. You okay, Dan? Well, he's gone. And Tom Scott and Dramarama. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.